Hey YouTube. Okay, so I've been going for a really long time, but I had my baby. um, so this will be my labor and delivery story. Okay, so this is Corinne Aurora Alexandria Kemp. She was born April 17th. She is 2 weeks old. Today is actually her 2 week appointment. She turned 2 weeks on Sunday. Um, okay, so I had her at 37 weeks and 5 days. And the reason why is because I developed preeclampsia. Um, okay, so basically what had happened was um, it was like, okay, like everything was fine the entire pregnancy. Didn't have any problems. Um, Wednesday, okay, so I went into the hospital on the 15th. So that was a Friday. So that previous Wednesday, and I think that would have been the 13th. Um, I was laying in the bed watching Empire. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I was laying in the bed watching Empire. My husband was next to me, and that day, I felt kind of off, but not really. Like I was fine. I felt fine. I can't fully remember if I had like any sickening feelings or whatever, but I was fine. Like, in my head I had been Googling like how to get the baby out. Like I was only 37 weeks and like 3 days, but I hadn't been dilated, and I actually went. Hmm. Yeah, that I don't know. Okay, okay. Basically, that was a time that I would have weekly appointments, and I was coming up on my first appointment that was supposed to be weekly. Like I had went to one appointment and then okay, we want to see you again next week. Every time I go to the doctor, everything's good. Now I didn't know that those weekly appointments were very important. So I was coming up on the date to come to my weekly appointment. Well, I hadn't actually made the appointment, but it was like 7 days from the last appointment. So I was like, dang, it's probably time for me to go. But I just I didn't make the appointment. So dang, I don't even know if this makes sense. But anyways, all right, I'll try to edit this out. Let me just kind of start over. All right, it was time for my weekly appointments to start up. So when I went to the doctor, when they were about to tell me it was time for appointments to be just weekly, my blood pressure was kind of high. Um, it was like not that bad. The nurse was like, "You're fine because the small number is still." She was like, "The small number is high, but the high number is low." So she was like, "You're fine." Um, Anyways, okay, so 7 days from that, I'm supposed to go back. Now, I didn't go. Um, and then, like, 2 days later, I felt that she wasn't moving a lot. I felt I had to push my stomach to make her move. But the feeling I was getting when she would move was like more like a reflex. So, like, maybe I'm pushing on the bag of the sack of water and it's pushing her. Because it was like a weird feeling. And so, like I said, I was laying in the bed watching Empire, and she wasn't really moving. So, and I was pushing on my stomach like, wow. I was pushing on my stomach like this, and she wasn't really moving. So finally, I told my husband, we need to go to the hospital. I was like, not like I was super scared, but I was just like, I just want to check on her, make sure she's good. So we go into the hospital, and my care had been switched over. I was on post. We was on post, but my care was switched over to a off post hospital. So I guess they didn't have my records here anymore. But anyways, they was like they like the hospital that I'm at, the hospital that I was at, they're like brothers or whatever. Like the hospital's like brothers, so they like were they were in communication with my doctor, with my new doctor. So anyways, they were like, well, we'll just go. You haven't been to an appointment in a while, which only happened a week. They were like, we'll just go ahead and do your weekly appointment stuff now. So they were like, you haven't had this, you haven't had this, you haven't had this. And I was like, Okay, so I laid there and got everything done. And actually, when they went to go check my blood pressure, because I went in and I told them I'm really not feeling my baby move. Her heartbeat was great. But when they checked my blood pressure, they were like, well, ma'am, you have high blood pressure, extremely high blood pressure. My blood pressures were in the hundreds over hundreds. And it was way too high. So they had me pee in a cup and they checked it and they were like, your protein is high, but it would be better if you could do a 24-hour urine something. You know, they made me take this thing home and pee in it for 24 hours and I had to turn it back in the next day. But anyways, I did all my other tests. Everything was good. They're like, your child is great. They were like, you having high blood pressure, that could have made her do that. They were like, it was kind of her way of telling me to go in. So, anyways, okay, so everything was good besides that. Okay, so my mom and my little sister had actually came to town on Friday. No, they came to town in the middle of the week. No. Yes. Yeah, they came to town sometime that week. And then they went ahead and left. And I guess my little sister had a dream that I had the baby. And she just really thought I was going to have the baby while they were here. And they kept saying it's too early. Like, I'm not even 38 weeks yet. You know, like, I was full term, but I wanted, now, I was trying to get the baby out, but I wanted the baby out, you know, at 38, 39 weeks. I didn't actually want her to come out 37 weeks, but I did want to start, you know, wanting real contractions. Every time I went in, and they'd say, oh, we see contractions, but I was never dilated. And I was like, I didn't even feel those contractions. Then when I would feel contractions, they would tell me there was cramps. And so, yeah. So anyways, my mom, I guess her having that dream, my mom had a strong feeling too. And so I went to the doctor. I went to the doctor after my mama left. So of course I called her and told her, hey mom, like preeclampsia, like what is this? I was like, this is like genetic, what's up? Next thing I know, she's texting my husband saying we're on our way back. I'm like, whoa, like why are you coming back? So when we go to pick up my mom, and she was far, so like on her way back, it was actually time for me to turn the pee in. So we turned the pee in, and then we went to go get them at the visitor center because we live on Post, you know, it's at the visitor center. And the people had turned in at 4. The place closes at 5. It would take like an hour. Sorry. And they told me, even though they're gonna be closed at 6:30, call at 6:30. And I was like, all right. Somebody will stay to talk to you. So I don't know. They told me to call at 6:30. I forgot, and we were actually in the living room barbecuing. We were in the kitchen setting up the food to barbecue, and my mom said something. I was like, oh snap, it's 7 o'clock. I'm supposed to call. I was like, oh well. They told me that if I can't get a hold of anybody, they'll just call me Monday. Well, my mom was like, you should go ahead and still call. And I was like, nah. But then I went to my room and was like, okay, I'm just gonna call them really quick since I had to, you know, stop being lazy and just call them. I called, and I guess the doctor had been blowing up my phone. Now my cell phone was broke. So he had been leaving messages on my phone, but my screen is broke and I can't answer that phone or nothing. But I have a temporary phone that I guess they all didn't give each other that number. But anyways, he was like, you don't check your messages? He was like, I left you messages. He's like, you gotta get down here. We got to have a baby. I was like, excuse me? He said, yeah. He said, your room's already ready. Call the hospital. This is my doctor. I guess this is a specialist, or I don't know what doctor this is. But because I had a baby in Kansas City and I live in Fort Riley. He was like, get down to Kansas City, and he said, call them because they're already setting up your room and everything. And he was telling me how high the protein was. It was over 700. Anything over 300 is preeclampsia. And it's crazy because like throughout the pregnancy I was swelling up, but my blood pressure was never high. Nothing else was high. Nothing was bad. They always said I was healthy. The baby was perfect. Like, I just really didn't have too many. Of course, you have fears while you're pregnant, but I really didn't have too many worries. And then when this happened, it was like, of course, I was so excited because I thought about to meet my kid, but then it was like, dang, like I'm pushing her out. You know, I'm about to push her out, and she's not ready. I'm not dilated. I just got checked to see if I was dilated the day before. You know, so that was scary. So, anyways, okay. So my bag and stuff were packed already in the car, and we we kind of just scattering around. We throwing all this raw meat away because we was about to barbecue. So we just throwing meat out. I'm throwing it outside, you know, trying to make sure my house don't stink when we come back. Because raw meat, you know, it was like, nah. Anyways, I'm just trying to nest real fast because my family was here. So, you know, we just blew up air mattresses and she bought the baby some stuff. Some stuff was in the living room. I was just like, no, this ain't how I want to do it. But then I was like, my water had actually broke. Think how would the house it looked like? Probably would have been water and stuff on the floor, you know? And I would have to leave it. So, anyways, my mom telling my husband, you know, they sync in GPS trying to make sure we're going all the same place. We're going 2.5 hours away. Alright, so we get in the car, we start heading there. Me and my husband just looking at each other like, wow, we're really about to go have this baby. Okay, we in the car, we just head out. And my mom told him, just get her there, you know, we'll follow, but you don't have to worry about us back here, you know. We get about 10 minutes out from Kansas City. My husband accidentally took the wrong exit. But anyways, we got there really fast. Like, we had to pay a toll and everything and stuff. But we got there pretty fast. And okay, so we get there. My mom and my sister was already there. And they already knew my room number and everything. And we get in there. My husband and my sister and my mom take their pictures. You gotta take a visitor pass picture. And going into the room was so crazy because it was like, I see the bed and I'm really thinking like, man, I'm about to be a mom. Like, you know, this is really about to hand me my baby. So, okay, so we go in the room. She's handing me a gown. Like, they're moving so fast. Like, we gotta get this baby out. They hand me a gown. They tell me what to do. Like, go in the bathroom, you know, change your clothes, put your clothes in this bag, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, don't use the bathroom because we gotta take a sample using the catheter. I was like, no. So anyway, they do that. And then she's like, hey, you go in the bathroom and do that. And a lot of this is fuzzy, so I'm trying to. So the reason why I saved me so long with the video, it was really fuzzy until recently. But okay, so so my husband's recording a lot of stuff. I'm filling out paperwork and stuff before my mom and my sister can come in. And I'm signing paperwork and then, you know, give me information to sign paperwork so baby can get certain shots. And they're like, well, you know, I signed all the ones for the shots that she needs for school. Because she's going to need them anyway, so I just signed for the papers. Okay, so then my mom and my sister come in. And they put this little thing up me to start the contractions. So the first one really didn't do anything. I was at a 0. But anyway, my mom and my sister came in, my husband, and they're all in the room. And they're, you know, hours and hours go by. And, well, 4 hours go by. And 4 hours went by, I'm still not dilated. And so it was 10 o'clock when we got there. So about 3 o'clock, they came in the room and they put another pill in me. And, you know, my family's settling down, they're all going to sleep. I'm sitting there hot, but it's freezing in the room supposedly. But I think it was more like, I guess I was in labor, but it wasn't active labor yet, you know, because I was really hot. But, I mean, labor had started yet. I don't get it. Okay. So, another 4 hours went by. I really wasn't getting any sleep. my mom kept popping jokes like, Regina, we really up here and you sleep, like, we need to get this popping. But they came in, put another pill in, they only do it for 4 hours. Then my contractions were coming like crazy. The thing is, they were like, we can't give you another one because I guess you get up to like 5. I had 3. They were like, you're having too many contractions at a time. And I wasn't dilating. Now, at some point, I got to I think a 2. That don't sound right. I don't think I went straight to a 3, but yeah, actually, I was at a 3. At some point, I was just at a 3, and they were like, because it took a long time. Like, I was contracting. It was killing me. And I don't know why I didn't get the epidural when I was in excruciating pain. Like, I wasn't against epidurals. My thing was, I just wanted to have her natural. I didn't want an epidural. I was so just not wanting one. But yo, the pain was horrible. I was laying there and anytime they offered the epidural, because I did something maybe they said y'all could offer it. I was not getting the epidural. I just kept saying no. Finally, I was laying there because I kept thinking in my head that I'm not in real labor. Something wasn't clicking that I was really about to have the baby, and I wasn't thinking this stuff was working because I wasn't dilating, you know. But anyways, they came in and gave me, I think they had to check if I was dilated, and that's when the lady was, do you want something to the edge off? And finally I was like, yeah. And I was like, well, can we see if I'm dilated first? They checked it, I was like, oh, you had a 3. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. They put something in my IV. I don't know what it was. It took the edge off just enough for me to fall asleep. But yo, like, once the contractions started back up, it hurt so bad. So, anyways, it's now the 16th, and man, okay, so it's now the 16th, and this lady, it's nighttime, you know, and like this lady comes in, she uses this ball. Her name was Kemp, and I would say she was the best nurse ever. Like, she came in and said, we're gonna get this baby out. And I want to say she came in before I hit a 3. I want to say I wasn't even dilated until she got there, but I cannot remember everything. And it sucks, I can't remember everything. But she came in, she put this ball between my legs. She had me shifting back and forth. She had me on Pitocin. She was changing up Pitocin. We started at Pitocin at a 3. I think we got up to like a 20. I don't even remember. But she got this baby out. Anyways, I was in so much pain. Oh my gosh. So I eventually got the epidural. Because it was like, I found myself pretty much just breathing hurt. Everything hurt, man. I can't even explain contractions, you know, because I can barely remember, but I remember my face, well, not my face, but I remember being like just scrunched up, turned to the side on the bed. Nah. They did a perfect job on my epidural. So far, I don't know. So far, I haven't had any problems with the area that they poked, but I'm not against epidurals, you know. And then with my baby being born a little early, I don't know if some of the, like at the beginning, she didn't latch. I don't know if that's because of the epidural, but I will say she latches now, and I will say she does a lot of really cool stuff for me every 2 weeks. I'm not against epidurals. It's, you know, to each its own. But that pain, because I had active labor for over 10 hours. Like, I'm gonna say a good 5 hours was me laying there. Maybe even more. Maybe only 10 hours was active labor. But after those 10 hours, I got an epidural. And then even with the epidural, I had pain. I'm not at the beginning, but toward the end, the button wasn't even helping my left side. But Okay, so where am I at? So yeah, she had me going back and forth. Then she asked the other doctor. She was a nurse. She asked this doctor if they want to rupture me, and they said nah. They said she still has time. They checked to see how far I was, and they said, oh, well, she's already ruptured. I didn't even know my water broke. The epidural was so strong, and my pain was so bad. The epidural did numb up this side. I could feel my feet. I could feel my legs. I could not feel my thighs. I could not feel my vagina. And I could feel the contractions only on my left side. So, it hurt. It was like, compared to the pain I already was having, nah, it wasn't that bad. I had to get oxygen for a while because the baby's heartbeat started dropping, but I eventually didn't need the oxygen. Like, she was good. But I was watching her heartbeat drop to like 19. That was really scary for me. But anyways, I think I know the syrups was coming out and it was time to push. My husband was the best coach ever. Like, this man, because okay, I couldn't feel my vagina and I couldn't feel my thighs. So it was pretty hard pushing just because I couldn't feel it. Like, you think you're pushing, but then everybody's like, push harder, push harder, push harder. So you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. At the same time, you got these contractions on this side still coming, you know? But, I mean, it was all worth it. You feel me? And then when she came out, it was like, I couldn't believe I was having a baby until she actually came out. And it was still like, what? but yeah, it was crazy. And they took her and they wiped her down, and my husband was right there next to her the whole time. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I wish we could have recorded the whole thing, but we didn't. We couldn't. The hospital doesn't allow you to. But we got parts and we got pictures. But yeah, it was a very, that experience, that's something that I never imagined. Like, I'm so blessed to have this little baby girl. But her name is Kharin Aurora Alexandria Kemp, if I haven't already said it in this video. And we are just extremely blessed and so excited for all the little things we have planned for her. And yeah, sorry this is a really long video and if I said a lot of but it's hard remembering everything. But I had other videos recorded of me pregnant, but they didn't get posted. And they might maybe still get posted, but probably not. But anyways, thank you for watching, and please subscribe and follow me on my mommy journey. Alright, thank you.